Naptown, the city that always sleeps. Most people think nothing happens in this town that is halfway between nothing and nowhere, but they would be wrong. There is plenty that goes on in this town for those willing to look. Faye got more than she bargained for when she broke into the Spinning Gold Casino's vault and found that she was not the only person moonlighting with powers. Her boyfriend Ewan was also breaking into the vault and was able to see past Faye's powers of deception. Now they have to talk, but are they able to be honest? Or is this just another doomed romance in the city that always sleeps?
Where we last left off, Darling had secured a private audition with Mr. Felix Ortman on his third and most private of boats. Seamus had a run-in with our favorite anti-hero, Lucia, while Faye had a run-in with her boyfriend in the middle of breaking into a vault. They all reconvened, shared information, and Faye went home to find Ewan waiting for her in her living room.
I'm glad it was her living room, because for some reason I was thinking he was like sitting on her bed. It's like, that's even worse.
No.
Still creepy.
No, she walks in and he's sitting on the little sofa in her living room.
Smoking, probably, because everyone smoked in the 20s.
Ewan, you scared me. What are you doing here?
I apologize for that, but...
Anything else you want to apologize for?
I was coming to talk to you about things, but if you want to be hostile and not talk about them, that's fine too, I guess.
No, just... What did you come here for?
You asked some questions today, and I figure I have a lot of questions. And as I said, discussing them in the middle of breaking into a vault is not the time to have deep heart-to-hearts, since you're on a time clock and you don't want to get caught. But I figured we could talk now.
Oh, all right. She sits down on the sofa next to him.
So don't take this the wrong way, but I think we need to do a one-for-one thing because you tend to not like to share.
I am finding out it might go both ways, so sure. Let's do that.
All right, I'll let you start.
What were you looking for in the vault?
That I am not trying to be vague, but it's not easily answerable. I collect magic items, and it's one of those you know it when you see it kind of things for me, which I know is not helpful, and it feels like I'm giving you a non-answer, but that is what I steal. I am looking for specific magic items, and I can't tell you what they are because I don't know what they are.
So you knew there was something magical there, you just didn't know what it was?
I assumed with the magic aura that is being given off by those boats, that there is something magical going on.
Okay.
What were you breaking in there for?
I was breaking in to find, I guess, the same thing as you. There are these poker chips that the casino gives out, and they seem to be bad luck charms, so to speak. And they've been causing deaths, so I was trying to prevent that.
That seems fair.
I want to ask him something about being a rift, but I don't know what exactly. So what are your powers? You can see magical auras, you can see through magical illusions? Anything else?
It's not so much seeing magical auras or seeing through illusions, it's more like seeing the truth of things. And not in a, I can tell when people are lying, but I can see the nature of items, if that makes sense.
Like their platonic ideal, sort of?
I guess that's a good way of putting it.
Just what they really are, not what they seem to be?
Yeah, I could tell that you're a rift from... Well, you did transform in front of me the first time we ever met, so...
So you knew then?
I've known you've had magic since about 2 hours out into our first date.
Is that why you're dating me?
Well, it's my turn for a question, but No, Faye, I'm dating you because I like you.
And that's all.
100%. Well, I mean, think you're good looking too. I mean, that doesn't hurt.
Oh, okay. Well, I have a lot of questions, but I guess you can ask me one now.
Who are all of your friends Rifts with you? All the friends that you don't let me meet?
Yes.
So, like, do you have, like, a club? Do you go around being, like, superheroes or something?
I don't know. I haven't read any superhero comics, but we go around trying to keep order, stop any disruptive rifts from getting out of hand or hurting people. What, are you on your own? Are you part of a group?
It's just me. I mean, I can tell when other people have special powers, but I haven't really felt the need to pair up with people. I seem to be able to do this on my own quite fine.
Well, would you want to ever team up?
I mean, if you're saying you want to rob a vault with me, that's probably your weirder suggestion for a date so far, Faye.
No, would you want to join a group that had other people like you, that you could use your talents to help people with?
I wouldn't say I'm opposed, but people tend to frown on it when you're also a thief.
So, why are you a thief?
I'd like to say it's all this magic inside me driving me, but there's also this thrill to stealing from these rich people who think that their precious gems or items can never be taken away from them.
Okay,
I mean, you've heard them give their speeches about how they paid ludicrous sums of money for these items and no one could ever take them, and it's always satisfying to see that, to wipe that smug look off their face by taking these artifacts that they don't even know what they do away from them.
I see the appeal. I do. But if you had a different outlet for that could give you that kind of rush, and you didn't have, well, I guess that's not true. I was going to say you didn't have the illegal collateral damage, but that happens sometimes in my line of work.
You seem to be breaking into a vault, the same vault I was breaking into, so...
Right. I guess what I'm saying is I think you could fit in quite nicely.
I will think about it.
Okay. So, are you still trying to rob that vault? What's your next move?
I haven't thought that far ahead. Are you still trying to rob that vault?
No.
Are you sure you got everything that you're looking for?
I am a little concerned by the prison cell in the back. My hunch would be that somebody was keeping a rift there and, I don't know, milking their magic for something. But that's just a hunch.
I did not have a long time to look around in there before I was interrupted, so to speak. But it did seem odd that it was not just a one-room kind of thing.
Right, yeah. I think there's more going on there. And
also,
we'll have to get to the bottom of it.
Not to be a Debbie Downer or like that, but do you think they can't make any more of these chips now that you've taken them?
Well, I guess that would be my worry with whoever could have been in the vault. If it's a person infusing these chips, then we kind of need to know what happened with the person. But I think not having the chips around is a good start to not having people die.
Yeah, that sounds like a good place to start.
So, do you have bigger and better things to steal? Do you have something against Felix Ortman?
As I said, Faye, I'm looking for magic artifacts, and I thought one might be in there.
Well, yeah, but you also said you like wiping smug looks off of rich people's faces, so that seemed a little personal.
it's not necessarily personal, more that I mean, you know how much we make fun of rich people.
Yeah, I just wondered if there was something about Felix in particular.
No more than anyone else. I mean, I think his casinos are not great, especially now that I know that he's been altering people's luck. You know, that feels more morally reprehensible.
Right.
But, I mean, I'm also stealing things from people, so who am I to throw stones, glass houses, and all that?
Right. Does City of Mist have, like, an insight check?
It's like an investigate, I believe.
Can I... Let's see, what do I want to know if he's lying about the most? I guess I'll do it on that to see if he's being honest about, like, why he was at the vault and, like, stealing. Is that okay?
Yeah. What are you using?
Won't take no for an answer. Can I use intelligent and won't take no for an answer?
Yeah, I'll let you use both of those.
That's a 10.
So you get the sense, and you're very confident in this sense, that he's been honest with you this whole time, and it doesn't feel like anything he told you was a lie tonight at all.
Okay.
You know, it feels like previously he was not really lying to you, more just obfuscating things, like lies by omission.
Yeah.
You know, like, he didn't say his hobby was robbing banks. But, you know, like, it doesn't feel like he was disingenuous with you. And especially tonight, it felt like he honestly came to talk with you and clean the slate, or, you know, clear the air, not to, like, lie and do a song and dance with you.
Okay. I think I have one more question for you.
All right.
Are you planning on stealing from my parents?
No, I was not planning on stealing from them. That felt in poor taste.
I think it would have been.
I had not targeted your parents specifically yet, and, you know, since we've been dating, I've been trying to avoid them and some of their closer associates, or people who are directly have a hand in your law firm.
I assume that includes Art, then?
Does Art have a lot of, like... How does Art live? I don't know how Art lives.
I think...
Well, that was going to be my question, is do they have magic artifacts just lying around?
It might be the type of thing that they, like, got in an auction that, like, seemed...
I didn't know if they were art collectors or, like, those type of people. Like, I didn't imagine them as such, but if you think they are, that's fine. Like, you have the say on that. If you think they, like...
I don't think it's a big part of their life, but they
might have one or two things, but it's, like, not a big deal to them. Like
yeah, they have nice pieces, but it's not their hobby.
To me, it felt like if they had stuff, it would be more like they had, like, really nice artwork on the walls, not, like, and here's a ceremonial dagger from...
Right.
You know, like, they felt more like, if they're going to be pretentious, they're going to be pretentious in the normal ways.
Yeah, I think Art is the same way, though.
Okay.
I think he lives well, and he definitely makes enough to live well.
Yeah, are you like that? Do you have, like, art on your walls in your nice apartment?
I think Art has probably given me, my brother Art has probably given me some things.
Art has given you art.
Yeah. I don't think Faye has, like, really collected her own.
Okay. I was just curious.
Yeah.
No, I would not steal from any of your family, including Art. I know you're close with him, I think. You mention him the most out of the rest of your family, so I inferred that you're closest with him.
Right. Well, I appreciate you doing the bare minimum here, I guess.
Okay, that hurts a little bit, but understandable. So where does this leave us?
Well, I still like you, and...
Did he ever apologize for hitting you over the head?
Yeah, why did you hit me over the head if you could see through my illusion?
It's not quite so cut and dry as that. It takes some time, and I saw someone and panicked, and then you turned around and I saw it was you.
And then panicked again.
In a different way, yes.
Okay, anyway.
It was, I did not know it was you when I hit you in the head, but I'm sorry, would you like me to look at that?
Yeah, I guess. It's still kind of tender.
He hasn't seen her broken arm yet either, has he? Other than, like, when he mentioned it in passing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she's got that back in a sling.
Also, what did you do to your arm?
Fell 15 feet, but don't tell my parents. I told them I fell down a flight of stairs in the dark.
Well, I think we can avoid that topic of conversation this weekend.
I hope so.
You still want to date me, that is.
I do. I like you, and...
She said I do.
They're married now.
Ding dong, ding dong. It's really nice to have somebody who knows about my powers. I hope that you feel the same. I think that we have a lot more getting to know each other.
I did say that on our last date, and I may not have specifically had this in mind, but I look forward to getting to know all sides of you, Faye.
Likewise.
And fade to black. Or not that fade to black. End scene.
End scene.
With him looking at your injuries, he can't really do much more for your broken arm, but he can treat your head wound, so you're back to where you were before.
-2.
So you still have your broken arm, but you don't have like a concussion or anything.
Yay.
Faye, make me a roll plus logos, I think is what we've been doing.
Gosh dang it. 5.
Ooh, gosh.
Jeez, Faye.
What am I rolling for?
How exhausted you are.
Oh, I'm exhausted.
You are terribly exhausted.
Mentally, physically, emotionally.
So, man, this feels... If we need to roll this back, we can roll this back.
I mean, I failed.
Yeah, but for the next day, you take -2 in addition to any other statuses you have.
Oh, frick. Okay.
Because, like, you are just dead beat tired. Unless you want to mark a crack on your law firm, and then you can knock it down to a -1.
Wouldn't that be the second crack on that?
Yes.
I think you marked a crack last week. So if you wanted to mark another crack on your art theme, you could have a -1 only.
Oh, that feels so bad.
Was this for the next day?
Yes,
what are we
for the next
doing?
day.
What are we doing in this day? Do we know yet?
You do not know yet.
Okay. Oh, frick. Yeah, I'll take another fade crack.
Ooh.
I'm at a -3 still. -4 seemed insurmountable.
Oh my gosh.
It's only when you do physical things, though. Wait, why
Yeah.
Why are you at a -3 or 4?
Because she's still got the -2 from broken arm. And then another -1 or 2 from this.
Are you talking about your broken arm?
Yeah.
Your broken arm's only when you do physical things, just so you know.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm just letting you...
Does that include magic?
Would that include turning into a bird?
In my mind, it does.
Yeah, in my mind it does too. That's why.
I mean, the other thing you could do is if you didn't want to mark another fade or crack, you could try to stop holding back and use your magic in a new way and try to heal yourself.
Yeah, I mean, this seems like the time.
So, you won't get the minuses on that. Like, that's just going to be a roll plus logos. Well, it doesn't matter.
Mythos.
It's a roll plus 2 because mythos
Okay,
or logos,
yeah.
and you have 2 of each.
That's a lot better. That's a 13.
Ooh,
Oh, dang.
that's really good.
Yay! Where it
So
counts.
let me pull up the rules for stop holding back.
The funny thing to me in this instance is you're still going to have to wear the sling because Art's going to notice, like, wait, her arm was broken yesterday.
That's a small price to pay.
So stop holding back it still takes a lot of your energy. So before you go to bed that night, you're like, or when you wake up in the morning, I'll say, you are feeling tired and you're like, I cannot deal with this. I cannot be late. Art is relying on me. It is a very busy week at work. I can't deal with just being not functioning all day and having a broken arm. So you channel all of your magic in a way that you haven't before, and you try to shapeshift your arm back to being whole.
Okay.
It is a painful experience.
Yeah, because it's more permanent than anything she's tried to do before.
And it is a draining experience in and of itself in a way that you have not ever experienced from using your magic before.
Mm-hmm.
Usually using your magic is something that's very easy and like natural to you.
Yeah.
And now it's very difficult.
Okay.
So I'm going to say that, or I'll give you the option, because I don't know which you'd prefer, and I'll let you have the choice. You can either burn all the tags on your Sorceress Supreme, which means you cannot use them until you have downtime to recuperate that.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Or you can mark 1 fade on Sorceress Supreme, whichever you'd prefer.
Definitely mark a fade.
Okay, so mark a fade on Sorceress Supreme as you shapeshift in a way that your arm is healed.
Yay!
Flip
I
it
feel
over to
great.
Tanner. Do you just stay outside Ewan's apartment house? He probably has a house.
Oh, man.
Or do you break in?
The thing is, Tanner would definitely break in.
So, So while Faye is having this long heart-to-heart with Ewan, we cut to Tanner, who is like goes up to the door and does that jiggle thing and then like casually shoulders it in. Make me an investigation roll.
I'm rolling private detective and truths that are hidden.
Okay, yep.
Okay. That would be a 7, 8, 9.
It takes you longer than you're accustomed to, but you are able to find, search this house. Part of what's slowing you down is you're, when you first break in, you're like, and Runa's gonna be here. And then she's not. When you break in, and you're like, well, okay, yeah, guess I'm just breaking and entering again, so. And then you go about doing your thing. What questions would you like to ask or find, or tell me what you're doing, and I'll answer questions for you.
Do I get 2?
Yep.
Are there a large amount of magical items in this house?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to give me any more details in that, or am I just getting a yes?
After searching, you search through everywhere, and you eventually do find, a trapdoor is too glamorous of a term. It's not that hidden, but it's also not obvious, way to the basement.
Yeah.
And in the basement, you do find multiple magical artifacts. They are arranged in a way that is not even kind of delicate. It looks like someone stole them, but, the point... It's the equivalent of, scratching off 45 lotto cards at once, and he just keeps throwing them in a pile when he doesn't win.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does. So he just basically steals these things. It would seem like he's stealing these things for no other reason than to have taken them, not because he wants them.
Right. Or he might be looking for something, and when he grabs the item, he hasn't found what he's looking for.
Okay.
Might be a counterpoint. So what you doing?
Oh, hey, I'm breaking in and finding out what Faye's boyfriend is doing with all this stolen crap.
I mean, shouldn't you feel a little bit more bad about breaking and entering in your other best friend's boyfriend's house?
I thought about that, and then I pushed the door open, and then I stopped thinking about it so hard.
But they could be here doing... And she, looks side to side. Things. They could be kissing.
Yeah, it could be, but they're not. And, I don't know, you know how sometimes it's it's almost better to have that awkward conversation if you're gonna have it? Because, Faye did kind of hire me to creep on his house, so that's probably gonna be a talk I have to have with him at some point, maybe. So sometimes it's better if the hand is forced. Doesn't matter, though. I'm more trying to decide if this is I found a Robin Hood, or if this guy's just a jerk, or I don't know.
I mean, does it matter?
If he's a Robin Hood or if he's a jerk, yeah, one of those things is just, and the other one is he's just like a kleptomaniac.
I mean, one of us here used to be a violent murderer, or just a jerk, and is now a vigilante who helps people?
Well, my point, what I'm saying is, the action of stealing something out of a vault is exactly what I was helping to do. It's all about the why. Why was he stealing something from a vault? And I am very confused by what I am seeing in this room, because it seems like he's doing nothing with it.
These things all look pretty dangerous.
Well, yeah, right, but imagine this, right? Let's say he had a room full of guns, but wasn't selling any of the guns. It's it's weird that you have a room full of guns, but at least you're not, selling all the guns,
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like he's peddling anything.
Is that accurate, Zach? From your description, he does not appear to be, crating and shipping and buying and selling.
No.
There's not, ledgers of sale or anything like that.
No. It looks like this is a room where these things are buried, not where they're being processed.
Can I ask my last question of, is he doing anything altruistic with his theft?
You can't see any signs of that in his house.
Is his house really nice? This is just, surface level investigation. He's a doctor. Is this, a doctor nice house? Or is this, a cartoon rich person house?
This is actually more middle class nice house.
Okay, so he's not. This isn't there's not giant vases and like, I don't know, whatever rich knickknacks are.
It looks like a nice 1-bedroom house kind of thing.
Okay.
There are some nicer things in his house. Like there's a few nice things, but it's not crazy. It's not like Faye's house or even Faye's apartment.
Yeah. No, okay, that makes sense. Well, it's kind of like, I don't know, at this point I'm kind of neutral, I guess. Like, he's not a bad guy necessarily. He's just not a good guy. He's a guy.
Aren't most people kind of like that?
No, I don't think so. At least I'd hope not.
I mean, look at how you were, or I'm sure the rest of your friends were before they joined the Order. They were all kind of...
Well, no, look, for a long time I was a very decent cop, and then I was a misguided vigilante, and now I'm a guided vigilante. But there's like 40 years of my life you're glossing over where I think I was a net positive.
I mean, but were all your police friends net positives?
I'd say like above 50%.
I mean, if that's what you think, but I don't...
It's what I think about humans, generally good, and then there's ones that aren't.
I just think they're kind of genuinely mediocre from what I've seen.
No, I mean, look, like, I'm agreeing with you, Runa. This guy seems mediocre at best. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's like childish. No offense, Runa, I understand. But, like...
I'm not a child. I'm 10 years old.
Yeah, it's like what a 9-year-old would do, right? Like, he's doing stuff and he's good at it, but it's like with no purpose. So I guess I can relate to that. I feel like I should just... I don't want to catch anything else on fire. That's come back to bite me before.
I'm just saying, like, maybe there's more to this story?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just not finding it out by looking around through his stuff.
Maybe he's conflicted about things and causing distress to those that care about him, even unknowingly.
Are you, like, no longer talking about, oh gosh, I keep forgetting his name, honestly.
Ewan?
He's just so bland to me. Ewan, that's the one. Tanner doesn't hate him, but he is very unimpressed with a thief that's stealing things for no reason.
He also is a doctor who's not living like a doctor.
Yeah, but is it, like, clear that he's donating all that money somewhere else, or does he just not charge people? I don't know.
You haven't talked to Faye about any of his practices.
I haven't, but the problem is, in Tanner's mind, he's a thief, and that's unjust, unless it's justified. And it's just, he's not gaining from it.
I mean, I'm just saying, judging a book by its cover is a bad thing. They tell you all about that in school. But then what are the point of covers? Like, I don't ever get that, because we judge books on their covers constantly.
Do you go to school?
I have a life outside of you, Tanner.
Oh, I did not know that at all.
I have other friends, but you're my best friend, and that's why we hang out all the time.
I'm very concerned. Runa, are you a real 10-year-old? Like, do you, like, have parents, and are you sneaking out of a house to come and follow me? I've honestly been assuming you're like a figment or a specter. But if you're not, I really have put you in a lot of dangerous and precarious situations.
She just shrugs.
Okay. That was not the answer I was hoping for. I think we should leave.
And as you start heading out the door and say you think we should leave, you look back and see that Runa is just gone.
I'm getting very concerned about that. As Tanner leaves, like, the lock has clearly been just, like, smashed in, and he just leaves a note that says, "Sorry, I'll pay for it." T.
All right. What are you guys up to during the day? Or we can skip ahead to you guys meeting up kind of thing.
Darn, I was hoping that would drag out more so I could just, like, not be part of the episode.
I think we probably just skip ahead to us meeting pre-private show.
Yes. I'm assuming you're doing a lunch break so Faye doesn't have to miss work.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you are at the Mystical Grove.
So I guess now that we have the chips, we can kind of monitor and see if more people are dying. Other than that, I think my main question is who was living in the vault and what all is Lucia up to?
I think we need to figure out who's making the chips and stop them from making I don't think we should just wait until more people start dying again. We should stop them from making more chips.
Guys, this is important. I know this is important, but did you find anything about Ewan last night, Tanner? Like, I need to know if he's like a wild card in our plans or something that we need to account for.
Well, I mean, technically, Faye's my client and all of my findings are confidential, so Faye, can I share with the group?
Go ahead, Tanner.
So I broke into his house. I owe him a new lock. You can tell him I'll send him a check or fix it myself or whatever.
Okay.
He just has like a pile of stolen stuff and appears to be doing nothing with it. I am very confused.
Oh, just for reference, it's not a massive pile of stuff, but it is decent sized.
He has a decent sized pile of stuff.
Well, I just wanted to let you know, it's not like he's stolen 400 objects, but it's also not that he's stolen 2.
My point is, I think we need to talk about taking all of them from him, because those should not just be left in a residence for any rando to stumble across and become a rift. But yeah, it's a conversation for another day.
Well, do we have a plan for these chips other than Sylvia just holding them behind the bar?
That's a really good question. Do we have like a magic disposal system?
Well, because if whatever we plan on doing with those, we could maybe talk with Ewan about doing something with the artifacts he has.
That's a possibility.
I don't think you guys have ever brought in artifacts before, but I think it has been mentioned before that you can bring stuff to the Order and they will take care of it.
I'm sure somebody's brought artifacts back.
Yeah, like I think they say they can take care of it, like how Sylvia's doing with the poker chips. You do not know what that means.
That's not ominous at all.
Like, you do know they have, like, you have seen the magic box that contains stuff, but you don't know if they destroy it, if they keep it, if they sell it, if they try to find someone to use it. Like, you have no idea what is the back end of this. You just know they take it.
So, I mean, if he's just stealing magical artifacts and not doing anything with them, that might not be a bad thing. I mean, he's not, like, displaying them like trophies, is he?
No, they were just in like a pile in his basement.
Yeah, so I don't know, maybe something to keep in mind. But more importantly, and Darling like looks over at the clock. We don't have a whole lot of time, but I forgot to mention yesterday that I do have a private show with Mr. Ortman today. And by that I mean I seem to have access to that third boat. So maybe we can knock off one of those questions, Faye, and figure out who was in that room, or figure out if maybe the whatever's creating the coins is on that boat.
That would be ideal. Do you have an exit strategy?
I have no plan right now other than going on and maybe being a distraction, or maybe doing all of this myself. So that is why I figured we should talk.
Yeah, I think we should provide a way for you to get out. Right?
Do we think anyone can come with me, or is this a solo thing?
It's a solo thing.
Okay, I'm being told that this looks like it's a solo thing.
Oh, sorry. From the impression you were given was it's a solo thing. You could attempt to bring a bodyguard with you if you'd like. But
oh no! If we were gonna bring someone else, it would be it would be secret. It would be like Faye flying in, and sitting on the deck type of thing.
Sorry,
like
no, I meant I didn't know if you were. I thought you meant like if you could bring someone with you onto the boat legally.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you think it's alone?
I assumed for me it was I am showing up alone by myself. I don't know if any of the rest of the team wants to sneak on while I provide like a distraction.
I guess, how are you getting on the boat? Do you have a location of where it docks?
Zach, do I?
Yes. You have a location of where to meet Mr. Ortman.
Okay.
And co.
Well, I don't have a specific place where it's docking, but I am meeting them at location.
It is specifically not at a dock. Like, it is like a business, or like it is a building that he has told you to meet him at.
The only way I can think of to get one person on that boat right now is Faye, you flying in raven-shaped and coming with me.
You could stop holding back and try to transform everyone into birds, Caitlin.
I based on how it went last time, I don't know how much good I can do.
That is also totally understandable.
I think, as much as I hate to say it, I think it might be best if I have a normal day at work and Seamus and Tanner come up with a way to interrupt the boat ride. I don't know if that's firing something at it or getting a phone number to call in a fake emergency on a different boat.
Or we could, get in a smaller boat and just, paddle up to it, right? What time is your show?
In your show in, the mid-afternoon?
Could you guys start planning things at night?
I could not plan this. It is at 3.
Is it at 3 today?
Yes.
Dang it. Well, woof, I have no idea.
DM note, if you guys want to use this as reconnaissance and then set up ways for you guys to get on the boats later, if you want Darling to do something to help you guys get onto the boat later kind of thing, that's also a valid use of this.
Maybe she could set up a recurring private show.
Yeah.
And have one at night.
I think it's going to just depend on how certain roles go, just because who knows if we'll have an opportunity to get on this boat again.
Yeah. I think Seamus and Tanner could scope out the location that you're going to before you meet him there at 3, maybe, at the very least.
Sure. That's a thought. And while I'm on the boat, I can definitely keep an eye out for ways for us to get back on. Obviously, I'll take note of where we do end up docking or how we get on the boat, and I can do everything I can to set this up so we can do this at a later time with more preparation. And worst case scenario, I will attempt to find whatever is making these coins and destroy it, or stop it if it's a person.
Sounds like the best we have.
All right. Seamus and Tanner, I'm assuming you guys head off straight away to the location that Darling is to later meet up on?
Yes.
Or meet at?
I mean, I would plan to.
Yeah.
So you guys head your way to this location, which is not at the docks. It's not necessarily far away from the river, but it's not close enough that it could be confused with being at the docks kind of thing. You do see a few armed security walking around. It's a little bit it's a medium-sized downtown building that people are walking around. It's a couple of guards, so you can easily slip in if you'd like to. Well, you'll have to make a roll, but it's not impossible to slip in if you want. Or you guys can go guns a-blazing or stealth takedowns, however you want to do this. There is a front door, a side door. I think there's a front and a side door.
So what's the plan here? Are we just staking this place out and then watching when they leave, or are we trying to get in there?
This is just a building, right? This isn't the boat?
This is just the building.
And he said he was going to take her back to the boat, right?
Yep.
I don't really see any reason why we would smash in and start punching things. Do you agree, Seamus?
So my initial thought is, stake out this building and follow them whenever they leave. However, I also can't ignore the fact that they may have a way to teleport from this building, but I don't know if we want to do anything with that.
Well, if they teleport, right, we wait outside for 15 minutes. If no one comes out, we walk in.
Okay.
Say we're looking for a bathroom.
All right, so these guys keep patrolling the area. You spend 15-ish minutes there, and no one goes in or out.
Well, what time is it right now?
Probably around noon.
Okay, I mean, I think we're staking this place out until Darling shows up, right?
Okay, well, you said 15 minutes. I didn't know if you were...
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I didn't know what you meant by...
15 minutes from Darling walking in if they walk into the building.
Right. Correct.
Cool. As 3 o'clock rolls around, Darling enters the building after stopping by the guards who are at the entrance, shows some ID. They let her in and show her to a room. As you walk down this hallway, it is a gray drywall hallway. It does not look very nice. There is nothing showy or fancy about it, and you are led into a room that has a desk in it, a painting on the back wall, and Felix Ortman standing there. You feel his beguiling presence as soon as you enter the room, as it pushes against your own charming presence and powers. And in the painting, you see a lavish-looking living room. It's more than just a living room, but it's basically serves that function. It has sitting chairs, and it looks very nice.
Darling is, even though Darling has, powers, it's creepy enough that she's got, keys between her fingers. It's a little unnerving.
Thank you for coming, Miss Lovell. I appreciate you coming to give me a private show. I'm going to have to ask you to put on this blindfold because I can't have anyone knowing where my private docks are to my ship, since everyone will try to get on and want a favor from me. But rest assured, you will be in good hands, and we will take care of you. He hands out a blindfold. Are you going to do it?
Yes, and she winks at him right before she puts it on.
As you put on the blindfold,
Can I roll something to see if, like, I don't know if there's a way to, like, adjust it so I can see, like, a little bit below or above or, like, thin the fabric out. But is there, like, something I can do?
Yes, roll me. I guess it'd be like a face the danger?
Probably.
What tags do you got to help you?
I'm gonna try to argue just one close confidant, in that she didn't say anything, she didn't argue, she just, like, did it.
Okay. I will let you have it, but you're still having that -2 from his presence.
Okay, and I'm guessing he doesn't have the charm tags anymore.
No.
Okay, so -1.
Yep.
No, that's a 5.
So you try to do that, but the blindfold is on quite tight, so you can't sneakily do it. And for a moment, you feel very dizzy. And then the next thing you know you're coming to, you're sitting on a couch in a very lavish-looking living room. Hey Wanderers, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Naptown Chronicles. If you want to hear more content from the Wandering Gamer Network, you can check out the Wandering Gamer Network website. We also post Let's Plays that we do on YouTube under the channel Wandering Gamer Network. On Twitch, we can be found at wandering_gamer_network, and you can follow us on Twitter at the WGN Podcast. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. The intro and outro music was composed by Caitlin Belgman, who voices Faye in this podcast. All other music is openly licensed or in the public domain. Now, sleeper, it is time to rest. And remember, it is the gods who envy us.